Good morning, Gabby. It's October 1st. Not really, it's actually September 27th. But I have a little bit of time before I have to go to practice, so I'm recording this now. And since you almost went to NYU, I figured let's do a video about what you could have had. And naturally, as NYU is a very hipster school, these facts are a little bit underground for people that are not associated with the community. So, here are the top 5 littlest known things about NYU. So, Gabby, number one, we have sports. Believe it or not, your friend here is on the cross country and track team at New York University. And we have over 19 varsity sports and over 40 club sports. One of which is actually a world champion Quidditch team. New York University beat McGill and took the International Quidditch Association Cup World title. Take that, Canadians. NYU's Quidditch team's brooms were grounded in 2010, but they're now back up and officially a club sport. And since we're talking about sports, let's mention our mascot. When you think of NYU, what do you think of? Statue of Liberty, the freedom we have, the NYU hipster? While yes, all those symbols come to represent something in the city, our mascot is much more intimidating than that. And we are the NYU Violets. Wow, that actually isn't as intimidating as it sounds. According to Greenwich Village folklore, there used to be a lot of violets around Washington Square Park, and that gave name to our very intimidating and masculine mascot. Take note, New York University didn't actually have a mascot up until the 80s when they attempted to use an actual violet. I will try to find a picture, but I don't guarantee anything. It was gotten rid of a year later, and we then had another awesome mascot. NYU's official dancing animal person is a bobcat named after the Bopes Library catalog. Take Bopes catalog, first 3 letters in each, it's a bobcat. There are actually no bobcats in Greenwich Village, which I'm very thankful for because bobcats are scary. I get the question a lot of whether NYU actually has a campus. And the technical answer is no, we don't have a campus. And I'm going to quote President John Sexton for a second here. And he says that, quote, NYU is a university in and of the city. We are the only higher education institute that has no gates. The line between where the city starts and the university ends is blurred, if it exists at all. And while it holds true that we don't have a campus by technical definition of the word, we do have our main base and anchor in Washington Square Park, in the home of one of New York City's best fountains and most iconic views of downtown. And New York University is expanding its global presence every year. We have satellite campuses right now in Washington, D.C., Shanghai, and Abu Dhabi, as well as global outreach campuses in Berlin, Prague, Florence, London, Buenos Aires, Madrid, Tel Aviv, and Accra in Ghana. I bring you to number 4, which actually excites one of your interests, English. And the famous Edgar Allan Poe lived in Greenwich Village for a very long time, and he actually used to love to interact with New York University students, and he led a group of NYU pranksters, and at one occurrence they built a cart and managed to sneak a mule and said cart into the chapel of one of the university's main buildings. But despite being a prankster, Edgar Allan Poe actually did a lot for NYU. He spoke at one of NYU's literary societies, the Icluin Club, in 1845. So, Gabby, we're already on 5. And since I tickled your fancy by bringing up English, I'm going to tickle my fancy by bringing up the fact that NYU has the fastest supercomputer in New York City. Max, as the computer is called, is the 117th fastest supercomputer in the world. It was built in 2005 with partnership with IBM, and it has 512 processor cores. That's basically like putting 256 MacBooks or Windows PCs together and making them all work together. And that is amazing. So, some raw numbers here. It can process 4.5 trillion operations per second. It can run mathematical simulations of the universe, of protein synthesis, and many other things that can contribute to awesome discoveries in the future. So we are not just wasting money with this like we are with the Bopes Library building. So, Gabby, just to prove how awesome New York University is, we have a Navy warship named after us. It launched on my birthday. Clearly, NYU and I were meant to be together. So, Gabby, there you have it. 5.5 little known facts about NYU. I can't wait to see what you come up with, and I'll see you Thursday.